two parts. Have you heard the term alpha female and women to referring to themselves that way? And do you feel the same negative reaction about alpha female as you do about alpha male?
That's a really good question. I think that some women in the States, and this is something I've noticed because I'm foreign, even though I don't sound foreign, I've noticed that a lot of women here are so, they're so intent on being these strong, independent women, and they kind of ignore some of the things that could possibly make them very happy because of it. Some women are really predisposed to be better at being alpha females, and some women are not. But for me, I'm a very independent woman. I'm very strong. But I recognize that the things that I'm attracted to, or the way that I'm predispositioned to be, is very nurturing, loving, caring. And it's okay to recognize that. I think some women, how do you say la criche? Fuck, sorry. How do you say they push it away?
Push it away?
Resistant, averse.
They resist?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're averse to it, even though it's their natural inclination.
But
Well said.
Do you think that the alpha, like, does it give you the same, like, we hate the alpha beta thing like that, like, disgusts us. But when you hear alpha woman, is it like, go and get that bag?
No.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
What do you mean go and get that bag?
Like, go sis, like, killing it when you call a girl an alpha woman. Because the viewer was asking, like, do you feel the same way about it for, like, between genders? I think it is really different.
If a guy tells you he's an alpha male, like you were just saying a second ago, like, oh, I've never met a guy who calls himself an alpha male actually be an alpha male.
Like, it's gross.
But when a female says, I'm an alpha female, does that give you that same, do you like go, oh, you're full of shit?
It makes me think that they're afraid of forming connections with the opposite sex. And I think it's the same with men, by the way, who say they're alpha males. I think that they enjoy the company of a woman physically, but I don't think they enjoy having conversations with them. I think it's the same with women who call themselves alpha females. We need each other. We have to recognize that we need each other. Some people might be better having the woman be the provider and the man be the nurturer. It doesn't matter, but the general population is not that way. And it's okay to recognize that and to lean into it.
I've never heard a woman call herself an alpha female. However,
I
will say I've heard countless women say, I'm a bad bitch. All my bad bitches. Where my bad bitches at? Is that the same thing of being a bad bitch and an alpha?
money.
So,
I don't even know, man. I'm a bad bitch.
You could argue independent is alpha too.
See, and I know where that guy was going with this. Is I get this all the time because like women will say, "Oh, I would never get with the guy who calls himself an alpha male. Oh, he's using it unironically." That's why that's why I had to make the distinction. But like, okay, how about a high value male? How about Captain America versus Iron Man? Whatever. When I talk about those things, there are so many podcasts and so many shows saying, "Oh, the alpha male has been debunked, and here's why, and here's the studies and everything else." And those are the same people that if a woman comes in there and calls herself an alpha female, they're like, "Oh yes, of course, there's an alpha female. Yes,
Gotcha.
you go, girl." That's what it ends up being. So there can only ever be an alpha female, but there's no such thing as an alpha male. And I'm like, that to me says more about the mindset of the people who are describing all of this than it does about the actual definition or the actual abstraction that is alpha. So my point was this, is that there's no such thing as an alpha female. There is only alpha men. So the things and the qualities, the attributes, the characteristics that make a woman independent. She's got her own business. She's got her degree. She's got, and statistically speaking, more women are in college. More women are earning more money. From a numbers perspective, this is all backed up. But when women can't get the guy that they want to, like maybe they're nurturing, right? They want to embrace that feminine side, but they can't get to it because for the better part of their lives, they've been turned into the men that they want to marry. They are the alpha male with tits and vagina. That's what they are. And so they wonder, well, where's my guy? Where's the guy who wants to be my equal partner and go off into family land and have babies and everything? And they find that the guys that would be their equal or would be higher than them don't want to have anything to do with them because they're not feminine. Those guys are looking for women who are feminine women. And that's the number one problem that I deal with right now when I'm dealing with like when I'm counseling women is like, Rollo, I can't find the right guy. She's like in her 30s or whatever, and but I did everything right. I did everything society ever told me to do. I went to college. I got my degree. I've got my business going for me. I got to freeze my eggs because I can't find Mr. Right. And they're building themselves up into this alpha ideal, but that ideal is based on a male archetype. The real alpha female is the one. It's not Sheryl Sandberg from Facebook. It's Renee Summerfield. It's the swimsuit model. Okay, because that is the apex of femininity. That's the highest top of that pyramid that we're looking at for femininity. So if we're going to define alpha or beta in a masculine or a feminine term, if you are a bad bitch and you've got your shit together and you make your own damn money, you're basically a man. And generally, heterosexual men don't want to get with other men.
Boom, let's just pause right there for 1 second. You said that is the number one problem that you're facing. The people
when I'm counseling women.
Okay, so I don't want to skip over that. If that's just the number one thing that you're seeing, you're seeing a 30-something-year-old woman who is relatively successful and is educated, has not had kids yet, and she's the breadwinner in the family, or no family, but she's doing her thing. She's quote unquote a bad bitch, and she's wondering why she can't find a high quality man, high value man. That's the problem. Explain that exact thing for a second.
I did a show. I did a recent show about, maybe it was about 6 weeks ago. Had Steve Harvey was on there, and some chick in the audience stood up, and I think she was like 35 or 36 years old, and she was there with her mom. And she was explaining that she was, did everything the right way. She was 35, 36 years old. She stands up and she's, very religious. She's like, I'm, praying to the Lord for the right guy. But I did everything, Steve. I got my college degree. I've got my money is down. I think I'm a great person. I'd be a great catch. And of course, Steve Harvey just kind of fumbles through the whole thing. But I'm watching this, and the reason why I use this as a critique was she's representative of certainly a demographic of women right now who are in the same boat. They don't understand why they can't find a guy who is up here when they've turned themselves into the man they want to marry as it is.
I believe that's exactly what Steve Harvey said, is that you are the man that you're looking for.
You are the man you want to get with.
Damn.
And that's really, and that's tough medicine.
So what's the ideal woman then?
Well, and so here's my point is the problem I run into is when I talk to these women, like I have hope for you. You're 23, the same age as my daughter, by the way.
Both these girls are young, attractive, and smart. So what's your advice for them?
She was just saying, it's okay. Don't be averse to the feminine, right? Yeah. When we're talking to a woman who's like 31, 32, 33 years old, and you tell her that, and for her entire life, she's like, I'm professional. I've done everything by the book. I've done everything society told me to do to be a bad bitch, to be an alpha female, to be a strong, independent woman. Registered trademark. And now I can't find the right guy. It must be men's fault because they're not living up to my expectations. And my only recourse is to say, well, you need to feminize yourself, right? You need to get in touch with your inner female or your inner feminine. Like we always tell guys, you need to get in touch with your feminine side or your emotions and everything. It's the opposite. I'm trying to tell somebody who is been masculinized to get in touch with their feminine side. And for me to do that, particularly as a guy, it sounds like I'm saying, dumb yourself down, be dumber. Because femininity seems dumb to that particular demographic of women, and that's hard to do. So they're resistant and they're averse to hearing what I have to say. Yeah, 30 plus so usually.
She's ladies as being in your early 20s, how do you feel about that?
Women, just like you said in the beginning of this podcast, you said that part of the human condition is you need discontent. You have to be constantly passionate about something. Women are the same way. If that's education. And in most cases it is. There's a reason that a lot of women are taking over universities because we love getting educated. We love learning. We love this. But we've for some reason, feminism has gotten us to a place, and I still consider myself a feminist, but in America, it's gotten us to a place where it's like toxic feminism in the same way that there's toxic masculinity and men only want young women who are going to be quiet. Women don't want men who are going to be...
Wait, what's toxic masculinity?
The way that I would categorize the people that I was describing before, these like alpha males who describe themselves as alpha males.
Wait, so a definition would be an alpha male is like the macho.
Well, my definition for toxic, first of all, toxic masculinity is a term that I would only use in very, very specific situations. I think it's overused. But I also think toxic masculinity manifests itself in a lot of young American men who are pursuing women in the wrong way and then being frustrated by the results because they just don't understand that women are equal human beings to them.
Okay.
How are they approaching women in the wrong way?
I think people who listen to certain radio shows, and what their understanding is, all I need to do is flash my money and work out and get a woman. And if she's talkative and she's arguing with me, like they put labels on women like argumentative or masculine or, you know, this and that. And I've been labeled all of those things. And I don't see myself as that. So I think that the reason that they see that is because they see women as competition. They're not comfortable enough with their own, I don't know if the word I'm looking for is masculinity, but like their own ability to be a good partner, that they just want a pet instead of an equal partner.